Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn something more about the control system. We started with what do you mean by transfer function? Like we started with what do you mean by open loop system? Then we went to study what do you mean by closed loop system. Then we studied what do you mean by transfer function and what is the significance of transfer function. Okay. So we have already studied. Now we are going to study something more about block diagrams. Okay. This is the part that we are going to study now. Okay, so before starting this study, I'm going to tell you why do we need to study block diagram. What is the need? Why? Or I can even use the word what is the motivation. Why do we need to study? What is the motivation behind studying the block diagram? Okay, so the first motivation is what do you mean by a block diagram? I'll just let you know. Suppose this is my process. Okay, this is my output. There is an input which is applied to this system. Okay, and this input, when this applies to this system, it gives some output. Okay, so this is called as a block diagram. This is nothing but a block, and this representation of block is called as a block diagram. This is a simple block diagram. Okay, now if we try to understand, this is the same as the transfer function. This is nothing but processing of input to output, right? So this is what we used to call as transfer function, right? This is called as transfer function, which was denoted by G of S, which is equal to Y of S upon U of S, correct? So this is equal to Y of S divided by U of S. This we have already stated, where S is nothing but Laplace variable, or you can say space variable, or you can even use Laplace variable. What is the function of Laplace variable? If you remember, what is the function of Laplace variable? Laplace variable converts any kind of differential, okay, equation or integral differential equation into an algebraic equation to simplify the solution. Okay, to simplify the solution. Okay, now what is the motivation? If we try to understand the motivation behind studying this block diagram, what do you mean by this block diagram? This block diagram means, suppose there are two components. Okay, there is an input that is going to come to this, and there this will be an input. Okay, this will be an output, and this output will become input to this system, and then it will come as an output from here. Okay, in this we can see there are two blocks, B1, and we can even see B2. Now if we want to reduce these two blocks into a single block, okay, this is a single block, okay, with one as an output and one as an input. I1 is the input and O2 is the output. This kind of reduction of block diagram, this is nothing but reduction of block diagram. Why do we do reduction of block diagram? To convert, if we can see, this is nothing but converting a complicated system into a simple system. Okay, converting a complicated system into a simple system with a single transfer function. Now the transfer function here is single. Here the transfer function were two. Okay, so it is a reduction of block diagram helps to convert complicated system into a simple system. Okay, okay, with the help of, okay, or it leads to convert complicated system into a simple system with a single transfer function. With a single transfer function. This is one of the motivation why do we do this kinds of block diagram reduction. Okay, this technique of reducing two blocks to one block, reducing multiple blocks to one block, and one block means a single transfer function. I've already told. Okay, this is nothing but a single system will have a single transfer function. Is called as block diagram algebra. Remember this. This is called as block diagram algebra. Simple. Now, how does it help? It helps to convert many systems. There are so many systems. Suppose one is a differential system, one is an integral system. Okay, one is a combination of differential and integral system. I have already stated that equation. Okay, if you remember, Differential system will be more like, if you remember, it will be more like inductance. Integral system will be more like capacitance. Differential and integral system will be more like uh, inductance and capacitance, right? A simple algebraic system will be more like only having resistance. Okay, all the systems, different electrical networks, for example, if they are connected together, and if we want to reduce this system into a single system, okay, an uncomplicated system, okay, then what do we need to use is we need to use block diagram reduction. Okay, we convert it into one block, and this is called as block diagram algebra, or you can even say block diagram reduction. Okay, now this is very important. Okay, now this thing of converting 2 to 3 blocks into one block is called as block diagram reduction, block diagram algebra. Okay, now I'm going to explain you how does it actually work. Okay, now what are the components of block diagram? I'm just going to tell you what are the different components that you need to understand for studying the block diagram. So the second thing is, we have understood what is the motivation. Now we will go through the components of block diagram. Okay, now what are the different components of block diagram? I'll just let you know. Okay, the first component is called as a block. Very important. The first component that I'm telling you is a block. This is nothing but a transfer function, g of s. Okay, simple. Now the second component is called as an arrow. There are two kinds of arrow. One will be an input arrow, second will be an output arrow. So the second component that I am telling you is arrow. Okay, now you have understood these two components, block and arrow. Now I'm going to tell you another component, very important component. Suppose this is a circle. I'll tell you what this means. Okay, suppose there is a signal. Okay, there is an input signal u1 of s. This is input signal 1. Okay, and there is one more input signal u2 of s. This signal is in a plus, and suppose this signal wants to get separated. Like we want to separate these two signal, like this is plus and this is minus. So we will get another signal, okay, which will be an output signal out of this. This is also input. As we can see, u is representing input, and u1 of s and u2 of s therefore will represent input. So this is with a plus sign, this is with a minus sign. So this will indicate like u1 will be plus minus of u2 of s. Okay, this is this system. Okay, when both are plus, it will be plus. When both are minus, it will be minus. When one is plus and one is minus, it will be 1 plus, 1 minus. Similar. Okay, simple. Okay, now this symbol is called as summing point. What do we call this thing is? This is our third component that I wanted to list you, is summing point. Okay, now I'll explain you the fourth component. Very easy. I have explained you what do you mean by block, what do you mean by arrow. The third part is summing point. Now I'll explain you what do you mean by another system. Suppose there is an input u of s, and from here there is again an input. There is again an input. Okay, now any input taken from this line will also have the same input u of s. Okay, if this is u1 of s, this will also be u1 of s. Okay, we are taking a signal from the main signal. Okay, this is the main line. Okay, and we are taking a branch out of the main line. This is the branch line. Okay, this kind of place from where a main line, from a main line, when we are taking a branch line with the same signal value, because it is from the same signal. These kinds of points are called as, this kinds of property is called as takeoff points. Okay, okay, this is called as takeoff points. Simple. Now if I want to tell you what are the components, the first component is block, the second component is arrows, the third component is very important, summing points, and the fourth component is takeoff points. Okay, okay, now that's good. Okay, okay, now what do we need to do next? Okay, if you remember, I'll just help you out with this. Okay, I'll just take an example of a block diagram. Okay, What do you mean by block diagram reduction? If I want to tell, I'll just take an example. Suppose there is a resistance. This is my input voltage, Vi of t. With respect to time, the input voltage is varying with some frequency. Okay, there is a current. Suppose there is a current flowing R of t. This is my R. Okay, and suppose it is having some capacitance. Okay, simple. I'm not using inductance. This is my capacitance, and the voltage is measured across this capacitance. Okay, okay, this is my V naught of t. Now, if I tell you, if you remember, V naught of t will be equal to 1 by C integral of I of t dt. And if we convert into V naught of S, this will be 1 by integral is 1 by Cs I of S. Correct? This is R value. Okay, nice. If I try to tell you what is Vi of t will be I of t into R plus again 1 by C I of t. We have already seen this. I'm just trying to explain you how do you convert this kinds of system into what do you say, a block diagram reduction. This is a system with a electric system. This is an electrical circuit kind of a system, and we need to convert this electrical system into a block diagram. We need to convert it into its block. Okay, this is more like the transfer function that we did last time. Okay, this kinds of question is also called as block diagram algebra. Okay, now I'll just tell you what is going to happen here. If you try to remember, what is going to happen here is, if I find Vi of S, just give me a second. If I try to find Vi of S, okay, will be equal to I of S, again 1 by Cs I of S, that's it. Okay, none. Now, if I tell you to find V naught of S upon Vi of S, this will be nothing but V naught of S is Y of S, Vi of S is U of S. This will be equal to, we can see I of S will get cancelled. What will remain up is 1 by Cs, just simplify, 1 by Cs divided by 1 plus 1 by Cs. Now, if I try to simplify, did I forget something? Yeah, R. I forgot R. There is an R here. Okay, I of S of R. So this will be R. Okay, so this will be more like 1 by Cs and Cs, R Cs plus 1. Okay, now we already know that this is nothing but G of S. G of S is equal to 1 by RCS plus 1. Okay, now if I want to represent, this is my block diagram reduction of the given electrical network with a Y of S signal output, okay, U of S signal input, and this is my transfer function G of S. And this is actually G of S, and this is nothing but V naught of S, okay, and this is nothing but Vi of S. Simple. Now this is block diagram. Okay, now I'll tell you typical block diagram forms. What are the different forms of block diagram? Okay, this is one of the form that I have written, simple forms with single block. Okay, typical forms of block diagram. Okay, very simple. We have done this kind of block diagrams earlier also when we were studying measurement. Okay, suppose there is one block, suppose there is another block, and suppose there is third block, and then there is an output Y of S. Okay, now assume that when there is an input here, let this input be U of S. Okay, now when there is an input U of S, okay, automatically what will be coming out of here is Y1 of S, right? Now this Y1 of S will get converted into output. Like I'll say this is G1 of S, okay, this is G2 of S, and this will be G3 of S. Simple. This is very important for us. Okay, now if I tell you write G1 of S, G1 of S will be equal to Y1 of S divided by U1 of S. Okay, or you can even write it this way rather than writing it this is U1 of S, and let this be U2 of S if you want to call it. Okay, this will be U2 of S divided by U1 of S, and this U2 will become here U3, and this U3 will become here Y of S. Okay, simple. because this same signal is going to pass on here, this same signal is going to pass on here. Okay, now I'm going to tell you find G2. G2 of S will be equal to what? U3 of S upon U2 of S, right? Now, if I tell you find G3 of S, this will be equal to Y of S upon U3 of S, right? Now, I'll tell you to multiply all this thing. We can multiply all these three. What I'm going to do, G1 of S into G2 of S, okay, into G3 of S. I'm just explaining you one type. This will be U2 by U1 into U3 by U2 into Y by U3. All are with S because all are Laplace. S means this is a function of S. Now if you can see, U2 of S will get cancelled, U3 of S will get cancelled. So what will remain here is G1 of S into G2 of S into G3 of S will be equal to Y of S upon U1 of S. If you look at this diagram, what is Y of S? If you look at this, where is Y? Yeah, this. If you look at this, Y of S is the final output and U1 of S is the initial input, correct? So that means a simple thing, that we can convert any block diagram in series first rule, okay, or first type I can say. We can convert, just give me a second. First thing what I understood, if there are three blocks, okay, and all are having their, okay, suppose there are three blocks and we need to reduce the block, okay. Suppose what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain you some properties or forms of block diagram, different forms of block diagram, okay. Now I'm going to explain you first single form. Suppose there is an input signal U1 of S. This will have a signal like Y1 of S. This Y1 of S will become the input signal for this, okay, which will give you another signal like Y2 of S, and this input signal will become output signal, will become an input signal for this block, which will give you Y of S, suppose, okay. Now this is the transfer function which is called G of S. This will be a transfer function G2 of S. This will be a transfer function G3 of S. Now what if I try to find G1 of S? G1 of S will be equal to output upon input. So this will be Y1 of S upon U1 of S. What if I try to find G2 of S? Again it will be output is Y2 of S. Input now is nothing but the output of the G1 of S, which is Y1 of S. Okay, and if I tell you to find G3 of S, this will be equal to output Y of S upon Y2 of S, which is the input for the G2 of S, output for the G2 of S. Okay, now if I tell you to multiply G1 of S into G2 of S into G3 of S, okay, what you can see is Y1 by U1, it is there with S, not an issue. Y2 by Y1 into Y by Y2. All the terms are with Laplace, okay. S, all are functions of S, not having a multiplication of S, okay. Now we can see Y1 will get cancelled, Y2 will get cancelled. What will remain is Y of S upon U1 of S. That means whatever might be the block, what will remain for the block, if there are three blocks, all the blocks are in series, okay. This is called a series form or cascade form, okay. Cascade form. What happens in the cascade or series form? We can convert the all blocks into a single block G of S, which is nothing but G1 of S into G2 of S into G3 of S, okay. I'll just write it for you in a simpler way, which will be having an output of Y of S and input of U1 of S. That means rather than multiplying all these three, we can directly use the final output and the initial input to find the value of G of S. This type is called as cascade form, okay. Cascade form of block diagram. Now I'm going to tell you another form of block diagram. Suppose there are three blocks in parallel. This is parallel form of block diagram. Parallel form, okay. What happens in parallel form? Suppose there are three blocks and all are having some input like u1 of s, u2 of s, u3 of s. Okay. Now, suppose all are meeting at a common point. Okay. And this point is called as a summation point. Can you see? This point is called as a summation point. Now, suppose this is also adding, this is also adding, and this is also adding. So what you'll get out of here is y of s. Now, suppose this transfer function is called g1 of s, this transfer function is called g2 of s, this transfer function is called g3 of s. Now, what if I tell you to find transfer function g1 of s? It will be output y of s upon the input. What is the input? u1 of s, right? Now, what if I tell you to find g2 of s? It will be output again y of s upon the input u2 of s. What if I tell you to find g3 of s? g3 of s will again be equal to y of s upon the input u3 of s. What if I tell you to add g1 of s plus g2 of s plus g3 of s, right? If I tell you to add all the things, automatically this should be equal to total g of s of the system, because when we add, it is not going to get simplified in any sense. Okay, because all are having different denominators. Okay, so this is not going to get simplified. So that means we can convert any parallel form into a single block form by using g of s is equal to, if there is a parallel form, it will be g1 of s plus g2 of s plus g3 of s. Simple. This will be nothing but addition of all three, which will give us y of s upon u of s. I'll tell you how. Now, suppose what is the value of g? If we try to find the value of g of s, I've already written. I'll tell you how. I just forgot to mention it. I'll just mention it how. Okay. Now, if you can see, sorry, what you can see here is this is having y of s. Again, this is having y of s. This is also having y of s, right? And all the terms are having, sorry, I could have tried to change it a little. No, it will be okay. This is fine. This is fine. We can't change it. This is fine. Okay. That means any g of s will be equal to g1 of s plus g2 of s plus g3 of s. Okay. If we add all the things, we'll get one y of s and we will also get one u of s. This is more like parallel form. But if I tell you there are another forms, I'll just tell you what are the another forms that can be there for this kinds of thing. Okay. Another form for this is, I don't just remember, just let me think about it. I think a cascade is there, parallel is there. Yeah, very important form that I just forgot to mention. I'll just mention it right now. Feedback form or feedback form. Okay, feedback form of block diagram. Okay, feedback form of block diagram will be equal to, okay, I'll just help you out with feedback form of block diagram. We know there is an input, there is an output. This will be g of s, this is y of s, this is u of s. This is without any feedback. Okay, this is open loop. Now for the feedback form, you are going to have closed loop. Now I'll tell you how does the closed loop g of s look like. You will get a g of s which will have an output y of s. Now there is an input signal. Okay, actually there is an input signal which is u of s, but if the output is not good, you will get a feedback here, which is h of s. Feedback is represented by h of s. Now I'll tell you how do you find h of s. Suppose this signal, whatever is coming out of this will go where? This signal will go to the u of s, and here there will be a summation point. Okay, now suppose this signal is nothing but this is u of s. Now what I'm saying, this signal, whatever is coming out of this, let the output be equal to u1 of s. Now if I tell you write the loop of transfer function for h of s will be equal to output upon input. Now we know the output is u1 of s and the input is whatever was the output that will become the input for this takeoff point, right? So this will be equal to y of s. Nice. Now if I tell you find u1 of s will be equal to what? H of s into y of s. This is very important. So we have got the value for u1 of s, which is y of s into h of s. This is very important. Now I'll just again go to the same diagram and try to make it more nice for you. Okay, this is my input, this is my h of s. Okay, this is my g of s, this there is my input u of s, there is my output y of s, and this output is getting disturbed because it is not right, and this output is getting and giving us a value of, if you remember, this value u1 of s was equal to y of s into h of s is coming out of this, and this output is actually going to a summation point. Okay, and suppose the feedback that has come out of here is to reduce, suppose the signal is more than desired, so we need to reduce the signal, so this summation point will become negative, this will be positive because it is adding into the system, so this will be negative. So if I try to, if we know the property of summation, what happens in summation point, if one signal is positive, can you see the signal positive, so this will be u of s, and can you see this signal that is coming into the summation point is negative, so this u1 of s, this is nothing but u1 of s, if you remember, so this is u1 of s. This two signal together will comprise a new signal which will be an error signal. This will send the error value, like corrected error value, to the in output, okay, or to the g of s. Now this value will be used rather than using this. I'll just simplify. This will be equal to e of s. If you can see, e of s will be equal to u of s minus u1 of s. So if I try to put it very simple, e of s will be equal to u of s minus u1 of s, which is u of s minus h of s into y of s, right? Now we are done with this. Now if I tell you, this is the input now, new input, and this is the output. For the closed loop, this is not the input. This is the input, e of s. Now if I tell you to write g of s is what? Y of s, which is output, upon input, which is e of s. Now again, if I try to simplify this, I know some values, like I know the value of e of s. Okay, so what I'll try to do, I'll put y of s is equal to e of s into g of s. Now we know what is the value of e of s. If we remember what is the value of e of s, we have simplified u minus h into y, correct? So e of s is equal to, just let me simplify, u of s, u minus h of s, u of s minus h of s into y of s. Total is e of s into g of s will give me what? Will give me y of s. Okay. Now, therefore, y of s is equal to, if we try to simplify, u of s into g of s minus y of s into h of s into g of s. Now, can we see y of s same? So, we'll take both the terms at the same side. Y of s is positive. This minus will come here, and this will also become positive. Y of s into h of s into g of s will be equal to u of s into g of s. Now, if we take y of s common out of this, what will remain here is 1 plus g of s into h of s will be equal to u of s into g of s, right? Now, that means, what do you mean by y of s? If you remember, y of s is the output. What do you mean by u of s? U of s is the input. If you remember, there was a feedback, right? But this was the output, and there was an error signal which was a new input, but the actual input was u of s only. So if I try to write it, y of s upon u of s, this will be equal to g of s, this is g of s upon, this will go to division, upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. Nice. Now this is my transfer function. Now the block which was looking like this at some point of time, right, with some error with this and that, this, like if I try to simplify, this will be my, I'll just put it in a normal way so that you also understand. Now this block which was having a transfer function, then an output, then a summing, then a takeoff point, then a feedback, then this feedback going to a summation point, and this is more like giving an error. This total can be converted into a simpler block which will have y of s, which will have u of s, and it will have a new transfer function which will be nothing but g of s, we can directly write this value g of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. So what we have actually written is, we have written the transfer function for a feedback block as g of s upon 1 plus 1 plus h of s into g of s. Please remember, always remember what are the components that are there in the transfer function, okay, of a feedback loop. Okay, remember what did we study? We studied E of s, we studied u1 of s, which was the feedback signal, okay, output of the feedback signal. We studied what is h of s, this is the transfer function of the feedback loop. What is g of s, this is the transfer function of the block, okay, the main block. What is y of s, this is the output. What is u of s, this is the main input. What is e of s, this is the error signal. Okay, one last thing before we end up, I just need to add this thing. I'll just add it right now. What is pending right now is, I think, summation point. If we remember this signal, what I told, this signal was getting minus and this was plus. Okay, this will always be plus because it is coming in, but this signal can depend upon the output. If we want to reduce the output, this will give a minus signal. What if we want to increase the output? The output is less, even though it is positive. If the output is less, okay, then this signal y of s upon u of s for this kind of system where there is positive, this is called negative feedback system. What we studied now, negative feedback system has the transfer function as g of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. Okay, and the positive feedback signal where we want to increase the output, okay, the output that we have come is less, we need to increase the output. That kind of system where there is a positive feedback, okay, positive feedback, okay, this kind of system will have y of s upon u of s will be equal to g of s upon 1 minus g of s into h of s. Remember, you can write yourself, rather than for the positive you will get negative at the denominator, and for the negative feedback you will get positive at the denominator. This will be the transfer function that we can put it in the block. In place of this we will have minus. Okay, for the negative it will be plus g h of s into g of s. For the positive it will be minus h of s into g of s. Okay, thank you so much.